y'all, so I am back with another video, and before I get started I just wanted to touch base on one thing that is super important for y'all to continue to get these videos. I post these videos because I feel like it's helpful for people who were once in my position. So I'm giving a breakdown of everything I go through so you would have this video to refer to. The main thing that motivates me to do these videos is when you like and when you subscribe, comment, all the interactions, let me know that I'm doing a great job. So if y'all want me to continue with the videos, please like and subscribe, give me feedback so I know what's working and what's not. And if I don't get much feedback, I lack motivation because I'm like, well, I could just dedicate this time to my studies if it's not beneficial. But if it is, like and subscribe. Now let's get into it. So I'm first going to start about how I feel currently about WGU. And I am 3 classes completed and 1 class remaining for my first term. I have completed critical thinking. I have completed statistics because I held off on that. And I also completed Pathophysiology, which a lot of people said that class was difficult, but it wasn't at all to me. At least to me. I actually was intrigued by it. However, currently I am taking nutrition. And that is a new class. And that class is the reason why I went to go buy an iPad, because it is tons and tons of reading. And it's the first class that I seen that stated that there is a pacing required. So they're requiring you to take 10 weeks to complete it, which it really just depends on the person. If the professor or course instructor sees that you are able to dedicate a large or substantial amount of time to the course, they may not make you wait the full 10 weeks, but this is not a course that you can accelerate in 2 weeks. This is my first class where it is a HESI style test, and that is high stakes. So they basically have it to where, you can only take it a certain amount of times before you're dropped from the program. So they require you to take your time with this course. Now with nutrition, I initially thought that, okay, it's just nutrition. Why do I need to know all this? But as you go through the lessons, you learn a lot of things that would be beneficial to you when you're actually in the hospital. I would have never imagined for nutrition that I had material going over the tube feedings when someone's in the hospital, and giving breakdowns of everything. Like if a person has a deficiency in vitamin D or vitamin C, or deficiency in calcium, what kind of foods would you provide to them? And if they're taking in too much, how can you have them avoid those vitamins or minerals to get them back to where they need to be? So the class is beneficial, but that class is lengthy. And I'll share how some of my notes, it's a tons and tons of reading. So I am a visual person, so I had to go buy an iPad, and I kind of, switched it up a little bit just to have something visual for me to see and make it easier for me to retain it, because I was struggling at first. I was struggling extremely bad. That class is a new class, so the resources are rolling out, but they weren't there initially. So it was a bit of a struggle for me. So with that class alone, I've been in this class for 3 weeks, and I've gotten through all the lessons, but it requires you to take tests. You have 2 practice assessments, and I'm just trying to feel confident before I go and take the final exam, because it's such a high stake one. So I'm 3 weeks in, but I plan on taking maybe another 2 weeks or less. And then depending on all the material that I completed, my course instructor see the time I dedicated, I would just have to request an approval, and then she would approve me to take the exam, and then boom, I pass that exam, because we not speaking failing into existence. Pass that exam, move on to the next class. So then I move on to the next class, and I complete all 4 of my classes for that term. Let's say I finish it within the next 2 weeks, and I finish it the first week of June. My semester doesn't end until the end of September. So that means I would have June, July, August, September left. That's 4 months. What my mentor would do is take the classes that I have remaining and bump them up so I can go ahead and knock them out. And that's what everybody talks about with acceleration. This new program, some of the classes require a little bit of extra time, so it may not be as fast as it was in the old one, but you still can accelerate. And if you have some classes that take less than 4 months, which all of them do, take less than 4 months to complete, your mentor will most likely bump it up. So that's what I plan on doing. The class tools that they currently have, most classes have live cohort sessions where you can log in, you can ask questions, and they record them if you can't make them. But the times that they do live cohorts is very flexible. So sometimes it's morning time, sometimes it's an afternoon, but it's a full schedule to show you when the live cohort sessions are so you can get logged in. So we talked about the classes that I accelerated already. So just to touch base on that again, critical thinking is my very first class that I took. I knocked that out in a week. But I was busting my butt. So critical thinking is just basically something that they want you to know so you can apply it to your job whenever you get hired as a nurse. So that class, the only thing I would recommend is looking at those videos and using that material on those videos, because that's what helped me pass. Mind you, I am a visual learner. Statistics, I really thought I was stupid when it come to math, but that class made me feel smart. So I complete that class in less than 2 weeks. That won't always be the same for everybody, but personally me, I completed it in 2 weeks. Some people took a month for critical thinking, so it really just depends on the person. Pathophysiology, it was actually a little intriguing. Mind you, I've taken classes in the past already, so I kind of had a little bit of knowledge. But pathophysiology is basically where you go through and you learn where a disease or something originates, and what it does to the body. And basically you just have to learn all of those diseases so you know how to deal with it. And that class was actually kind of cool for me, but I did take about two weeks and a half to complete that class. Now nutrition, I already told y'all about that. Y'all shouldn't be worried about patho. Nutrition is the one that it's a lot of information. It's doable, but it's a lot of information. So I will warn y'all on that. Study method. So for pathophysiology, they provided really good study guides. Same with statistics and critical care. The only class that I don't have a study guide on is nutrition. So I went and bought an iPad and I just document everything that I can in that class and just hope that I can bring it all together with those practice assessments. By the way, nutrition was a class that I felt didn't have many resources, so I did create a Facebook group for nutrition. So if you want to add the Facebook group, I will put it right here and you can go ahead and add it. But honestly, it's just a bunch of people trying to figure it out all together and saying what works for them for that course. But by the time y'all get in, if you're starting like June 1st and stuff, by the time you get in, you'll probably see some good resourceful stuff on there, like study guides. So highly recommend. So just to double back on nutrition, it is something that will be essential for the NCLEX. There is nutrition questions on the NCLEX. So this class is important. I thought it wasn't at first, but now I'm starting to understand the importance of the class. So don't try to rush through everything, because if you don't remember it, you're going to have to study it later for NCLEX. And it's going to be way more condensed if you try to study it for NCLEX. So just get it out the way now. My mentor, I still meet with her one time each week. And my mentor is also my cheerleader. This nutrition class was frustrating me a lot. So I reached out to her a lot, and she was the one reaching out to the course instructor, giving me feedback from the other students on how they felt the course was and what helped them. So your mentor is definitely helpful. Um, so make sure you build a rapport with them. I did get a question under my last video asking about the program length, and I do want to elaborate on that a little bit. The old program was 2.5 years, 2.5 years. This new program is different, and the reason why it's different is because instead of you having to come in with prereqs, they allow you to take the prereqs with WGU. So if you come in and you literally have 0 prereqs and you just have a HESI exam, that's 4 years. If you have, like, let's say about 50% of the prereqs and you have to take, let's say, 8 classes. If you have to take 8 classes, then your program would be about 3 years. It'll take you about 3 years to complete it. So every time you have 4 classes, that's a 6-month semester. And again, remember, you can accelerate those. So let's say you have 4 classes, 5 classes that you need to complete. You have those 4 classes that they already add to your 6 months, and you knock them out. They're gonna bump that 1 extra class that you have up to the current semester, and then you'll just jump straight into clinical. So it really just depends on your situation. If it is a case where you only have 4 classes that you need to complete, because 4 of them are not transferable, then it would still be 2.5 years. If you have 8 classes, you're looking at 3 years, or unless you accelerate. So again, it really just depends on your current situation and the transcript evaluation. They'll give you more of a breakdown of where you're currently at. So you genuinely won't know until they go through and evaluate everything. There is some stipulations about older classes, like if you took it a long time ago, there is some stipulations on that. So you also would have to double check on that, because if it's too far out, I'm not sure on the exact time frame, but if it's too far out, they will make you retake it. So again, with the program, it is not like a 6-month program. It would never be 6 months. The minimum is 2.5 years. So that does. Another question I got was about Straighterline or Sophia, like the third party online classes you can take if you don't want to take it with WGU. They currently are still doing that. I personally took A&P 2 again, because I took it before, but it was a C and I wanted a B, because at that time that's what their stipulations were. But I took it again, and I think I only paid like $99. No, I paid about $150 for that class, and I knocked that class out really fast. Like that one you can accelerate. But if you want to take some other classes because you don't want to pay for a full semester, if you have, like let's say 8 classes, because if you have 4 classes, you still gonna have to pay for a semester regardless. So let's say you have 8 classes and you don't want to have 2 full 6-month courses of pre-nursing exam or pre-nursing classes. If you decide to take classes through Straightliner and you knock out 4 of them, then by the time you get to the program, you would only have 1 semester of pre-nursing classes, which may be cheaper in the long run. So they do offer that option for you to transfer in those classes. They do partner with Straighterline and study.com and Sophia. I would have to double check that. But they do partner with it, and I had no issues transferring over my credit for that. So that is another route if you don't want to take the pre-nursing classes through WGU. However, like I stated, 4 of those classes are not transferable, so you would have to take them regardless. And that is pharmacology, nutrition, critical thinking, and I also had a question about virtual clinicals. I'm in Houston, so everything is different for each state, but I did ask my mentor about that, and she said that most likely won't be the case for me because Houston is so big and there's so many hospitals for them to partner with that may not be a thing. That was more of a thing around COVID time. So honestly, as far as virtual clinics or clinicals, I wouldn't have any information on that personally, me. Now, I will be honest with y'all, these classes are not meant to be easy. So, like what I'm saying about nutrition, I'm saying it's a little bit more lengthy and blah, blah, blah. These classes are not meant to be easy, and some of them you have to learn it. It's no way you would pass the NCLEX if you don't learn the material. So if I just breeze through nursing school and it's time for me to take the NCLEX and I fail, I can't wonder why I failed. This program is not set to be easy, so don't expect it to be easy, but just expect to dedicate some time to be able to study. That time is required. You can't breeze through everything. I literally sat here for the past 3 days, and one of those days I studied for 6 hours, one day I studied for 7, and I have a full-time job. So I managed to squeeze it in, and I'm actually motivated to study just because it's a dream of mine. So the motivation alone is what gets me to my study time. It may close you out from being able to do stuff like, get your nails done, because look at my nails. It may close you out from free time. It may close you out from fun time. You do have to squeeze that in, however, so you won't drive yourself crazy, but it requires a lot of time. So if you're looking to enroll into this program, I'm a mom. I have a full-time job, but I am still making it work. So it's definitely possible, but that motivation has to be there. And if it's not, then you most likely will find yourself in a bind. So if you feel like you have that motivation, I would highly recommend to come to WGU, but I would not recommend to come to WGU and expect it to be easy, because it's not. Becoming a nurse, you have people's life in your hands, so you have to master the skills. So just expect it to be challenging, but just know that it's the best or most rewarding challenge that you'll go through. Every time that I am stressed out or struggling, when I pass that class, it just made me feel 10 times worse. And y'all, I'm not gonna make it seem like I don't be stressed out, because I do. And sometimes I might even cry if I'm frustrated, but I'm passing my classes. I haven't failed one yet. That's just my personality. That's how I deal with everything. But like I said, it's rewarding. So if you come into this program, just know that it is doable, but it does require dedication. So if you want to see more videos like this, as I stated previously, please like, subscribe, give feedback so I can continue to make these videos, because I literally stopped studying to make this video for y'all just because I felt bad, because I'm like, I said I would do an update and it's been a while, so here's my update. But feedback is the main thing that keeps me motivated to do these videos. So please, please, please like and subscribe, leave questions. I'm really good with answering questions. Y'all even follow me on social media. I'll eventually begin to post more there. I just really post my notes, but I will begin to post more there as I progress into the program, most likely when I get in clinicals. But like and subscribe, or follow me on Instagram to keep up with the updates. And I will be back soon, y'all. As soon as I pass this nutrition class, I'm gonna give y'all some feedback, because that nutrition class is trying to take me out, but it's not.